The purpose of this lesson is to familiarize you with the air sources, air uses, and control valves of the 737 pneumatic system. This lesson teaches you to locate and identify the major components of the pneumatic system, including the ducts, engine start valves, bleed valves, pack valves, pre-coolers, and isolation valve as represented on a system scale. This lesson will help you understand the purpose, correct operation, and effect of each pneumatic system cockpit. It also teaches you to interpret the indications of normal operation of the pneumatic system. It also helps you to interpret cockpit warnings of abnormal conditions and to determine the corresponding corrective action. Engines are the primary source of pneumatic air. However, the auxiliary power unit, APU, or external air source can also supply air to the pneumatic system. Pneumatic ducts connect these air sources to the systems that use air. The air is used for air conditioning and pressurization, thermal anti-ice, engine starting, water pressurization, and pressurizing the hydraulic reservoirs. The APU is normally used to provide air for engine starts. The APU can supply air for the pneumatic system while on the ground or during flight. However, there are certain altitude limitations on its use in flight. The APU cannot be used for bleed air above 17,000 feet. An external air connection located on the lower right side of the fuselage is provided for hookup to a pneumatic cart or bottle. One of the air conditioning packs can be operated from the external source. External air can also be used for engine starting. The pneumatic manifold extends from the engine strut of one wing through the lower fuselage to the engine strut of the opposite wing. The APU bleed air duct joins the pneumatic manifold to the left of the isolation valve. The pneumatic ground service connection joins the pneumatic duct on the right side. Major components of the pneumatic system include the engine 1 start valve, engine 1 bleed valve, isolation valve, left, right pack, APU bleed valve, engine 2 bleed, and engine 2 start valve. Each component will be discussed in some detail later in the lesson. This is just a quick tour to get you acquainted with the schematic. Each engine can provide hot bleed air to the engine cowl for anti-ice protection. This is internal bleed air tapped off before it reaches the bleed valve. So, strictly speaking, it is not pneumatic air. Cowl anti-ice is covered in the lesson titled Ice and Rain. Hot bleed air can also be supplied to wing leading edges for anti-ice protection. This is also covered in the lesson titled Ice and Rain. Pressure sensors and temperature sensors monitor the condition of the pneumatic air at various points inside the duct. Air in the pneumatic system can be hot enough to cause damage if it escapes through a leak or break. Overheat sensors, which are located outside the ducts and around the packs, detect hot air leak. When a hot air leak is detected, the condition is called wing body overheat.